Hey, what's up? El Presidente here again, UPRC Outlaws. Here with another board member, new board member, Ken. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So, what do you like about the being a board member of the Outlaws so far?
It's great. It's like being part of a family. It's all love, no hate.
Awesome. So, how long have you been doing this RC thing?
Not too long. A few years. Got into it a little bit.
I thought you were gonna say a couple weeks.
No, yeah, a few weeks. Got one truck. No, it started off just seeing, when I was a kid, seeing the T-Maxes and the E-Maxes, and all them big monster trucks look really cool. Never be able to afford one.
Dirty nitro trucks?
Yeah, those, I saw a few of those. Those didn't really impress me that much, but the a couple years goes by and came across the Stampede and picked it up. Messed around with that a few years, put it on the shelf for a little bit, took it back out, modified it, and been hooked ever since.
Yeah, like I say, a lot of people think the Stampede's like the beginner kiddie truck because it was one of the cheapest ready-to-run trucks. But man, they take a beating.
Oh yeah, they jump them off anything. You break something and a couple dollars and get it fixed.
Heck yeah. So, you want to show off some trucks?
Yeah, actually we'll start with the Stampede.
Awesome.
Not a normal looking Stampede. A little dirty now.
Maybe you want to throw it up here.
Yeah, that was the first Stampede I bought. Picked it up from the Stampede, from the Traxxas dealer trailer out at Bark River one day, and overpaid like crazy.
I always forget about that trailer.
Yep.
It's a bad trailer.
Sold me on the extra battery and the charger. You need this charger. It was two-wheel drive. The XL5 brushed. Had it for a while until the NIM batteries that I bought with it blew up. And the motor was getting a little corroded, so went and picked up Castle setup, which is in it right now. Went to 2S lipos and still running the four-wheel drive axles, actually, the drive shafts from the four-wheel drive in it, because kept blowing the two-wheel drive ones apart.
I always lose the pins where the pin goes into the end. I stretch those right out.
Tore the oak right off every time. They egged out and then blew them apart. Ran it for a while with the stock talons on it like that. Went to this body, went to a smaller tire, and then put the slash arms on it all the way around, which the front ones are the same as the that Stampede.
Definitely doesn't look stock with the way it sits out. I like that.
Yeah, lowered the suspension all the way around. It's got aluminum shock bodies on it, which did blow the caps off of this one. The Stampede's biggest fault probably is them plastic caps on the shocks.
Everybody says that. I've never had an issue. Never ever.
I didn't either until I let my kid drive it once and then he blew it off. But ever since then, that cap, once you blow the threads off, they're not the same anymore. So
yeah, even the plastic ones.
Yeah. These shocks are cheaper brand. They were Atomic RCs. They were decent. I run them on two different trucks. They were on this one for a while, then they went on my Slash, and they went back on this one. I mean, I've jumped with them, raced, backyard racing with them. Don't leak. They land good. They're fully adjustable, which is nice. Adjust them on the fly.
Yeah, I need to invest in something like that.
They're like $15 for two.
For several trucks. What do you got on the front bumper? Is that RPM?
Yep, RPM front bumper. I did have RPM rear setup on it. I took it off. I had it on the Slash. Now it's got nothing. Hopefully soon has the Slash now. Wheelies like crazy.
And your radio works now, right? You got
yeah. Little rainstorm took it out today.
Yeah, we were going to film several hours ago, but the rain came through and wrecked a few things. So
yeah, like my receiver, transmitter.
Awesome.
But, yeah, changed gear ratios, more Slash style gear ratio. That's about it. This one's been around for a while.
Now it's a wheelie machine.
Seen a few. Oh yeah, it does pretty good wheelies. Next one was the Slash that I bought to replace the Stampede. It's actually the original body for it. I went to a Pro Line body for a while. Got Atomic RC, the aluminum A-arms that I know you hate.
I don't hate them. I mean, you can replace yours at your bent ones all you want. That's fine.
Had those on there for probably 3 years now.
And no issues?
None. I don't jump it off of roofs or anything, but
Oh, that's why.
I have jumped this one for a while, but this wasn't really set up for bashing. I didn't
I know
want
somebody else that jumps off roofs too. Calls people out. It's pretty awesome. Oh. Inside joke for later.
But no, I put them on there, expecting to keep it on the ground and
Can't do that.
racing it, and wanted a little bit more sturdy. I didn't want it flexed a little bit too much with the plastic arms that were on it, I thought. And I went with these. I like them for how rigid they are, but yeah, I wouldn't do crazy jumps with them or anything to bend them.
I know some people like between the aluminum or metal and the RPM stuff, racing on a dirt track,
Yeah.
just the trajectory of the jump, the way you land with some of that stuff, either it's too stiff where you're not getting into a corner, or RPM stuff flexes so much.
Yes. The other slash I have that my kid uses, I put RPM all the way around, and I noticed the big difference between the two is when you land with this one, it'll bounce, where his will flex more.
Yep.
And then it kind of stays.
Well, this one's cracked right in half. So
It's not. But yeah, this one's been set up, as you can spy the pink springs. This one's been set up. My daughter's been using it with a Volkswagen Bug body, and that's why it's missing the rear bumper too. It doesn't fit with that body, so I steal it once in a while. Was brushless. I put it back to, since she's been driving, I've been using XL5, just the standard brushed. Slow it down a little bit for her, more controllable. She had a couple trees, brushless setup, so
you got less parts that you got to replace.
yeah, doesn't hit as hard now. Same tires. Do like those speed treads. They're affordable, mounted.
Seems like you could beat them up pretty good too, and they
Oh, yeah.
last.
Yeah, these have been run on the pavement a lot actually, and they're more than 50% still. Work great in the dirt. They bite real hard.
Pattern, the tread pattern almost looks like a Proline tire,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't think of which one it is.
Pitbull.
Maybe.
They're pretty gripped no matter what you're running. I mean, loose dirt, hard packed. The grass even, they tear into the grass where the Traxxas tires were just sit and spin. I always end up swapping these out with the Traxxas ones because you can't move in the grass.
Yep. Well, even with your Stampede's a little bit lighter than this, and running that through the grass, that thing was just hauling.
Yeah.
So, through the wet grass.
Even with the front end would come up a little bit, even with that in the grass.
Yep.
And they do bite. They're a decent tire. But yeah, bought two of these. That was the start of the collection. I had the Stampede for a few years, and then they bought two slashes and beat the crap out of those for a while. And then went to the Arma that I don't have here for a reason. Really good truck. Just had some issues with it. Like
Welcome to my house. We had somebody get shot down in the neighborhood the other day. You'll hear that in the video.
Really?
You'll hear it just right now.
Sweet.
Right.
Violence in Quinnipiac.
Yep.
But yeah.
Outlaws.
Yeah. Bought two slashes, then I got that Arma. The Arma set in four-wheel drive, decent truck and everything, but I took the bearings out of the motor a couple weeks ago, and it's been a big hassle ever since. Other than that, little plastic pieces that I gotta keep replacing. They're getting close.
That's a nice thing about the tracks. It's like the Slash and the Stampede is, even if you do break something on it, I gotta tell everybody, it's pennies. I mean, it's
Yeah.
nothing to put one back together.
I mean, the Arma stuff isn't terribly expensive either, but it's harder to get. Traxxas stuff, it's everywhere. And now the Arma stuff's starting to get a little bit easier to get, but it seems like you just break it too often. It's not the same plastic that, even though I don't like the A-arms and stuff that Traxxas uses, it's still, they got a lot of flex to them compared to it. Seems like the Arma stuff can snap.
Yep. Got a Typhon that I had for a short time. I cracked the control arms a couple times on it, just driving over nothing. I wasn't even beating it.
Yeah, like I said, it's really sturdy chassis too, which really impressed me and everything. But yeah, it's broke the bumper mount right off the bat. Shocks were leaking out of the box. then that motor went.
Good stuff.
Yeah. An A-scale motor too, so I don't just have an A-scale motor laying around.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, the way we play, we don't have time to wait around for parts and stuff. Like, we
Grab another truck.
Yeah, we gotta be gone. So.
No, this one's been pretty good to me. I dyed the chassis black. That was my first time I did any plastic dyeing too. That was a fun project. Trying to do it before the wife got home in the kitchen stove.
All right, so when we first started hanging out, you talked about wanting to get into the trail truck stuff a little bit.
Oh yeah, I really like the trail truck stuff. I've always been into off-road stuff my whole life. I mean, 4-wheelers, dirt bikes, mud trucks. It gets dirty and has horsepower, like it. Then I started seeing the RC stuff and the scalers and how accurate a lot of the stuff was.
Yep.
And how cool the trucks just looked. And crawling over stuff. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, you said, oh, I want to get a kit, I want to do this, I'm going to build one up. And so finally, just kept bragging on him as much as possible about getting a trail truck. So
yeah, and
not only did he get one, he got one and went totally extreme with it. So
yeah, and he also talked me out of buying a TRX or TXR.
TXR.
So yeah, wound up getting the Red Cat Gen 8. Selling points, beadlock rims, portals out of the box, something I didn't have to buy. Cool bumpers.
Shackles.
Sweet shackles. I painted blue recently. So I was bored. Couple different bodies. This one's the most recent.
I'll flash up the yellow body right there too, so you can see the way it looked. You never ran a stock body on it.
No.
So
No, the stock body stayed in the box with the bubble wrap. I ran it once in my basement just to see how it acted, and I just wasn't into it.
Ooh, I'm gonna take that trait back then. You said it was never on the truck.
It was on the truck when I pulled out of the box.
Oh, okay.
No, I did try it out one day, but I climbed over a block of wood in my basement. That was about it. Yeah. Trying all different tires on it, trying to get, everything. Weighted these rims down, refoamed everything. It's actually a different foam on these ones now. Oh, sweet. Try to do my own paint job every time. I really don't like the pre-painted stuff.
And this one you did a paint on the inside and outside, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's got try to texture the black, make it look more like the plastic that the Jeep body actually has. I didn't want it to be that ultra shiny. I wanted to give it a little bit more of a semi-matte to it. So quite painstakingly cut all the tint film on the protection film on the outside where I didn't want it to be blue. Painted the entire blue inside and then go back around and do all the outside with the black. Looks like a real mess when you're done. Peel that film off and hopefully everything turns out right. This one, it worked out.
Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. And you did all your own lighting and all that too?
Yeah, just made my own harnesses the other day, soldered everything together, rewired it. I didn't really like how Red Cat had the stuff wired even for the motors and everything, so reran all that. Got it all so it's out of the way and tight. Heat shrunk everything.
Got it tight like a tiger.
Yep. Heat shrink everything so it's all waterproof. Since we seem to play in the water a lot.
A lot more than I want to,
as
actually.
It's still raining today. But yeah, it's been a good truck so far. Haven't really had any issues with it yet.
You haven't threw it yet?
I have not thrown it yet.
I thought you got close one day, but...
Yes, them rocks were annoying me one day, but after watching someone else do it, I didn't think it was a good idea anymore.
Keep the truck planted.
Yes, keep it on the ground.
Yeah, so you pretty much take a stock truck. I mean, most of the stuff, you didn't change anything in the axles or suspension yet, right?
No, I adjusted them, but I didn't change anything, no.
Right out of the box, though, this is a totally different truck than the Gen 8. Mine's pretty much stock, just different rims, and you can't even tell it's the same truck. So, and the tires are brand new, and I know somebody else that has the same tires, but it just didn't seem like they were getting the performance that you were getting out of these.
Yeah, I mean, these are weighted, but I don't know if he's got his weighted at all.
I don't remember, but
because right out of the box, I kind of test fit them on the rims, and they didn't. They seemed too narrow. They were riding on the center tread too much. Truck wasn't really heavy enough to push it down, so put the weighted bead locks that I had in it, and they're squatting pretty good. They seem to grab pretty well on the course here. Climbed over everything we put through.
I'm actually a little bit worried. There's a few parts of the course that he goes right through that I can't brag yet. We'll see. I mean, the Viterra's still going to take the championship, but we'll,
Yeah,
we got a second place contender here.
well, it's Ryan's truck's pretty tough too, though.
Yeah, he drives like an X-Max, though. It's a good thing he's not here right now. I could be in trouble.
Where'd that come from?
Oh.
No, I mean, I think everybody's trucks does pretty well on the course. I mean, everybody seemed to have a good spot in the course where they did better than someone else. And
That is true.
yeah,
It's like every section of the little course we have here, there's a truck that does awesome on one part better than everybody else's. So
yeah, I watched a few guys, like Jim's truck went right over a lot of the stuff that like I got kind of stuck on.
yep.
Just kind of drove over it like nothing. Ryan did it to a couple things like the wood a couple weeks ago with my other setup.
Ryan likes the wood.
He drove right over it, and I got hung up a few times in it. These tires I didn't have as much trouble though, and this wheelbase being sucked in a little bit, that helped a lot too, especially with the transfer. I got stuck in the middle a lot.
See, I was worried about that actually when I took my Red Cat out for a little bit, and everything, it does seem narrower. So I was a little bit worried that when you do get stuck on the portals, like you're not getting out of it. But for the most part, everything just rolls right over everything.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy that I had to pull the rear end because I kept getting stuck on that classic Red Cat hump in the center there.
Yep.
Now, today it seemed like it just skimmed it, which helped a lot.
Yeah, with everything being soaking wet too. And I think that's what impressed me about these tires the most is everything is soaking wet.
Yeah.
So
I didn't think they'd climb half the wooden objects that we had.
yeah, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's the wood stick thing right there. That's one of the worst.
Maybe
you
not.
kind of see it. It's over here somewhere. But it's cedar twigs, and cedar gets just gummy and slimy.
Yeah.
And right up and over. Pretty sweet. So what's the next truck you getting?
I don't know. We'll see. Depends on kind of what we do and what else Ryan buys, I guess. Kind of don't have to buy anything because he's bought all of them where I get to kind of just see what he does.
Yep, that one's junk. I'll wait.
Yeah. I kind of really wanted the Typhon until both you guys bought it, and now I don't.
I almost had you sold, and then mine sucked.
Yeah.
Mine was horrible though. Mine was.
Yeah,
everybody
I
that
think
knows
I think you got a bad egg.
Yeah, I was bound up right away. It just nothing was right with it.
But yeah, I don't know. There's a few directions I'd like to go. I kind of, since my other Stampedes, the wife's been using it a lot and everything, and I kind of want to go to thinking about getting a 4-wheel drive Stampede to bash with. I just really like the Stampede.
Not bad. That's my bashing truck of choice for the most part. My 2-wheel drive with the monster truck tires is my go-to, but my 4-wheel drive's usually sitting with it right away. So
I like the 2-wheel drive one. It's fun drifting around dirt corners and everything and jumping off stuff, but it's just a lot of times where you can't get the traction you need with the 2-wheel drive where you're just all over the place, or the wheelie. And the 4-wheel drive seems to be planted a little bit better.
the way you have yours set up, though, I mean, if you went with like a bigger, wider tire, I mean, it might be too much, but
With the talons on that, it performs pretty well. It performs better than the Stampede did out of the box, with having the rear A-arms from the Slash on that truck with the talons, and on the 2-wheel drive how they're offset.
Yep.
If you take the fronts and put them on the back and flip them, they come in pretty close. They'll actually level out, and it doesn't look too awkward.
Yep.
If you put them back to the original location, the front ones will hang way out.
I tried doing that with my Bandit, but that's goofy to start with because everything goes down and it's narrow. It was really bad. But. Okay, well, anything else you want to go through, or?
Yeah, pretty much it.
Okay, well, there you go. The newest board member, Ken. All right, give him a lasting word.
don't be afraid to get out there. And I mean, I see a lot of kids get interested in this, and some adults I see kind of worried about playing with toys. Believe me, these are expensive. They're not a kid's toy, as far as kids can play with them, but it's not just for kids. Just get out there and have fun. Something to do.
Or don't, just send us your money. We'll buy more, show you. Awesome. All right. And that'd be a wrap. Nothing but love.